Hey all, Sir Penguin here, and we are looking at another replay review. Today we have a submission from Reddit, slackw4re here, playing in the purple as the Ottomans. Requested some help on Reddit, said, hey folks, I need a Plat 3 Diamond 1-ish player to take a look at my games and see what I am doing wrong in some of my matches. I tend to pull, this player tends to sit around gold 3. Currently sitting at silver 2, but that is because of or silver 3, but that is because of the new season. Not a lot of people have ranked and played yet. So still waiting on the ranked ladder to sort of, standardize, balance out. We got a very nice, clean little Ottoman opening here. 5 to the stone, 5 to the wood. Gonna go ahead and drop some of those buildings. On the other side, we've got a French player, Phil Makadosh, in the teal, who's going to be wanting to put on some of that early pressure, especially to Ottomans. You don't want to let Ottomans do whatever they want. That's the best way to counter Ottomans. And with the recent nerfs to Ottomans, France is going to have a little bit more value going for early aggression against them. It's going to be a lot harder for Ottomans to get the free, produced units and all that kind of stuff. First thing I've noticed here, and I'm just going to point out, this military school could have come up the instant you dropped your stone. One villager could have easily just built that up, because you didn't need the 50 wood until after, or while that's coming up. So you can still gather the 50 wood, but go ahead and make sure you build that nice and quick. I would also follow Valdemar's suggestion here, which is just to off-place it from the TC just a little bit. So when you get your blacksmith and your buildings all around it, the blacksmith will include this and a row of 3 more buildings. You got 4, sometimes even 5 buildings, extra buildings in your circle. All right, so here we are looking at this. Otherwise, I don't really have, that's just a small nitpick. It's not a huge note, but it will help you, especially against factions like France, when you really want to get that blacksmith pumping. Because if you build the blacksmith here to get this inside of it, TC is going to block any buildings that would come next to it. So something to keep in mind as the Ottomans. Recently, I won my first free-for-all of the quick match ladder playing as the Ottomans. It was, once you get late game as the Ottomans in a free-for-all, you just start steamrolling with those great bombards and stuff. But you can feel the difference, and the big difference is how much slower the military school is. It has taken a long time for this first spear to come out, and these spears really are going to need to come out once the opponent's school of cavalry is here. So we're actually going to have less spears, I think, before the first knight gets here, which is a significant difference. Obviously, they're going to keep coming out, but yeah. We have a significant difference in timings because of the 0.5 increase to the amount of time it takes to produce units. Nothing crazy going on just yet. Let's check out the sheep. I think you did a pretty good job on sheep here, slackw4re. Oh, maybe not. One thing I like to do with these sheep is instead of dropping them on the opposite side, once you drop them, make sure to select them all and move them to where the rest of your sheep are on your villagers. Because then your villagers can gather them in the same spot and they don't have to walk all the way around the TC to start them. But it does look like you've moved over to wood. Let's take a look at the splits here. I don't know. Okay, we've got a few villagers in the queue. That's good. I think the goal, though, here would be to have 4 villagers on the food before all of this happens. I'm not sure if you're going to have enough food when you age up to continue your build here. We'll see. French player playing really tight here. We got Wheelbarrow coming up just in time with the School of Cavalry. Enough food and gold for the first knight. So all these timings basically in the right place for the French player here, and they're going to pop that knight out. There it is. There it goes. Knight's on the way out. We're sitting here on Gorge, so Gorge is going to be tough for Ottomans because you want that tight little, base. But in a 1v1 on Gorge, you have to move out. You can't just hang out in the middle of your base. So I can see we got a spear doing a little bit of damage here. But yeah, okay, good job. Just put a little bit of harassment. You're going to slow down knight production, but you get 2 knights out. And, this feudal spearman is not going to be able to take on a knight, as we know. If you've got a scout trying to harass your stuff back in your base, you can like pop the sheep to annoy the opponent. It's actually pretty good value for you. If I honestly, I would have just hung out and done as much damage to that knight as possible. Because if you get it down to like half health, the tower that you have going up on your gold will kill that knight a lot faster. You get some good value. All right, another spear here. This is going to be nice because now if you pull that spear back to defend that second knight, we should be able to save some villagers. So let's take a look here. Nice, get an attack. It's at half health now. Tower's up, so we got to keep our eyes on this, especially because we know it's coming, right? Spear has been attack clicked. 3 villagers open on the gold. Get him in the tower, get him in the tower. Very nice, very nice. So we got those units in the tower. That knight has been ineffective. Meanwhile, what are we doing to avoid knights on the back? Not a whole awful lot. We've waited a long time to get all this wood, and frankly, dropping the tower is great. It defends our gold. But where's our food? Where's our... Okay, I see what's going on, but... Yeah, our food's going to be low, which means we're... Oh! Okay, we've overqueued villagers a little bit. But we really need to make sure to get some military production out now. 1 military school is not going to cut it against France. France, yeah, okay. Immediately, France is going to build that archery range as soon as those spears defend that first few attacks. And so now the problem is, yeah, these 2 spears in the tower can hold this. That's not a question. It starts to become a question when the archers follow up. And without spears, all you have to defend here is a 5-slot tower. And these French knights have a lot of pierce armor. That tower doesn't do a whole lot of arrow damage with vills in it. So as the archers come up, we need more production. I like the blacksmith. This will speed up the military school, but we've got a lot of wood that we're kind of idling on. This is 3 production buildings for Ottomans. And when you're up against a French player, it's important to keep in mind that their school of cavalry gives them increased rate of production. They have plus 20% production speed, and for knights, that's a huge difference. Meanwhile, this archery range coming up, and I don't think I've seen a lot of scouting over here, so we haven't seen double archery range, which is going to be a problem. I don't even think we've seen any of the archers yet. It is safe to assume they're coming, so it's always good to make sure, okay, we've got double military school, but here's the problem. We're going against a feudal French player who has been showing a lot of knights already. More than 2 knights is often a sign that we're going to see single TC all in from the French player. If they make 2 knights and they just harass those 2 knights, you can assume they're being greedy on the back. But nowadays, you're just going to see non-stop knight production with archers on the back. This is just easy to play. The pressure is really hard to defend. And the reason I bring all this up is because the positioning of our buildings is kind of rough here. Would have liked to see it on the front or somewhere with some space, but now we're not going to get the most bang for our buck with the blacksmith. And additionally, we don't have a barracks. These spearmen are still Dark Age spearmen, fighting more knights than there are them. The knights win this now. They're not going to. They're not going to go fight it because, you know, smartly this player is going to pull back, keep the units alive. Going to lose a knight there, so that's pretty good value for you, but we don't have an upgraded spearman. We need a barracks. We need a barracks to upgrade the spearmen to play against France and to produce some extra spears. They're not very expensive. You're going to save lots of food. The problem is, with this defense, we're just not going to have enough units. We're just not going to have enough units. This is going to come in with a ferocity. Yeah, the knights can just get away with burning that down. Archers can clear out the spears. And the knights can beat these spears, technically. He's going to choose not to. Just going to even sacrifice some units to clear the spears. So looking at this, you know, your opponent's not even playing it that ideally. He just has so many units, and you have to wait so long for your spears to come out from the new military academies. We can't just get away with this as Ottomans. Gonna need... Okay, I don't mind the stable for these archers. I do not mind the stable. I still think we need a barracks for that upgrade. It's only 100 wood as Ottomans, and you've been sitting on a lot of wood for a while. Thing is, we just don't have units. We can, you know, we haven't lost any villagers, sure. We also just don't have a way to defend this if we try to take more gold. And if it looks like, yeah, okay, fast castle, fast imp for the Ottomans here. Big problem is going to be this French production, which is really hard to counter, especially they're just going, they're just pumping it out. I'd like to point out the French also are kind of spread out, but they're spending their resources. And that this is where it becomes a problem. You're obviously going for fast castle, but now that you're off of gold, you're straight up off of gold, and we don't have a way to secure enough for the castle age. And yeah, we don't have enough spears to defend this. He's going to see this. And whether you get the gold for this or not doesn't really matter now. You can get the gold for your age up, but with this mass, what if you age up, what do you gain? Keep that in mind. If you're aging up, but your opponent has 20 units out, that's a problem for you, not for your opponent. Because now you've got 3. Look at this army count. This is the important thing here. Sure, they're behind you in villas. Sure, they're kind of just chilling out. This is amazing for them. You have your gold. You can age up all you want back here, but they're going to take advantage of that fact. They can sit here, and it looks like we got some upgrades coming in. This player hasn't even built a blacksmith yet to build rams. They're just keeping you off your gold, so you can't change into knights or anything like that. These walls are kind of nice. I think I would have liked a little less intensity on the walls, just some shorter ones that are defend key resources. But I don't hate walls against France. France, in general, it's nice to have some walls out. Especially with Ottomans, you can build some additional production. Also, we've built this stable. We haven't done anything with it. Do we want a metter? Do we want Sipahi? What was the reason for this? We have a ton of food. And so if we want to build Sipahi, we can. We're short the wood, though. We're only gathering food. I guess the idea is to transition into knights. You can only build 1 lancer with only 100 gold. No way is that enough to fight this. So a lot of it is, you know, knowing what you're up against, making the right units, and getting the right upgrades at the right time. Because we still have Dark Age spearmen, and your opponent has archers, knights, and we'll have a fast track to Castle Age now, knowing you've gone to Castle Age. 25-4. They can just sit back, keep the pressure on, and these walls are doing a good job of defending you. Again, I don't hate these walls, especially because you're Ottomans. You have a lot of wood and can make a lot of production. We really need to see some trash coming out. We have too much stone. I guess we could go for a keep since we're castle, so we build a defensive keep like right on the base. Oh, we just lose too many villagers. I think if we go for that. And we're going for the gold on the opposite side. And these splits are going to be okay for a while, but what are we going to make with that? What are we making? It's a little unclear to me how we're going to take advantage of this. We do have a knight out. And the knight with the spears helps, but yeah, the French player's just going to say, I don't need to engage that yet. Let me just hang out. French player still doesn't have a blacksmith. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This player plays like AoE 2. They're walling their wood line with houses. I love it. I love it, I love it. It doesn't really matter because you can just slip right through it, but I think it's fun. Alrighty. So, what are some of my thoughts? With these splits, with all this food and all this gold, but only 1 military building, look at the speed. Blacksmith helping, obviously, we need more production. The reason France is going to get away with this is we do not have a response. This is not a response. This is not enough units. You know that your enemy has archers and this knight mass. You've seen both. And 4 spearmen and a slow knight trickle is not going to cut it. Because these French knights have a high charge bonus. Oh, no! Oh, my gosh. And this is why we need units. We can't secure this kind of gold if we don't have enough units to defend it. This knight mass could have killed your army too, but he decided just to pull out. These archers are doing nothing too. Right, so, like I said, I don't hate all of this. And here we have another military. Free units are great. Free units are great. But this military school isn't in the radius. I don't think it is. I doubt it is. So maybe we want to build it up here or over here, maybe somewhere in the radius of this blacksmith. And now we have some horsemen and knights, but that's up against, we've got 9 French knights, 17 archers. This is going to be tough to defend, even with castle age units. Knights love to fight castle age units. Feudal French knights do not mind hanging out in castle age if they know their opponent is off of key resources. And here comes the French castle age now. They're going to get their upgrade and kill your army. And we've got a lot of food, but not a lot of other resources. We really should have seen more trash early. I think we should have seen more production, more trash units, spears, the barracks for spear production. Because now, what you do, you have 10 villagers exposed. And sure, we have free units, 10 villagers gonna go down. And now France doesn't even care that they're behind, that they were behind villager-wise, because they've been ahead military-wise this whole time. And so I might sound like a broken record to those of you who already like my videos, but honestly, one of the key differences, I would say, between getting out of gold, people say they're hard locked in gold. Getting out of gold is all about production. All about production. I like the mango, the free mango, gonna come out. Nice hit. But yeah, okay. Exactly. There's just too much here. With the castle age upgrades and knights coming in on the other side, archers, if your walls coming up, these walls, we're kind of walling ourselves in here. Why not build walls like from this to the side? Build walls here, ways that we can cut enemies off from moving into our area while securing the main with our units. So my main notes are kind of that, like defend those key areas and you'll be in a much safer and better position. Now we're gonna take a look at the next match here and see if we can see anything else about the gameplay. But my main note from that one is if you're against a faction like France, you need that barracks, you need the upgrades, you need those units to be able to defend. Even if you are going for a fast castle, fast imp, France is not going to let you fast castle so easily. They'll keep you off gold, they'll keep you off food. So those are important things to keep in mind. Good game, nice job. I see where you were going with that. You made some good decisions, but ultimately, we need to react to what our opponent's doing. Adaptability and decision making is key in this game. And to get higher up in the game, we really need to adapt and make big changes. All right, thanks, and we'll go on to the next